Makes me feel the way you do. It's easy to prove I don't want anyone else but you. I don't want anyone else but you.
Well, good evening and welcome to Lengro Late Night Live. It is indeed Wednesday, the 11th of August, and tonight I've got Jack Tyler and my cousin Deborah Petulengro on the show. We're going to be talking diet and fitness, celeb gossip, and so much more. So let me ask you guys, first of all, if you do know anybody that would enjoy our show, please do let them know and comment their name in the comment section. Or better still, why not start a watch party? If you're new to Lengro Live or you followed me over from Derek Akora's page, then welcome. We're not doing readings tonight, but we have got a lot of chat as always. Let me bring on our first presenter. Please do welcome the lovely Jack Tyler. Good evening.
Hi. How are you doing?
I'm very hot in here, but my fan is very loud. But you know what? For Lengro followers, I'm going to sweat it out. That's what I'm going to do. Who have we got watching tonight, Jack?
Yeah, so we've got Bonnie, we've got Leslie, Margaret, Philippa. Hi, everybody. Oh, we've got a couple of new ladies in the house as well. Well, we've been having quite a few technical difficulties today, so we're really hoping that we can stay on with you for the whole hour without disappearing off somewhere.
We are. I'm going to do my best magic powers to make sure I keep you here. And of course, without further ado, let me welcome Deborah Petulengro.
Hello, good evening all.
Hi, Deb.
All right. Hello,
How
Leslie.
Deb,
I can see Leslie in the comments. Hi, Leslie.
Oh, now in actual fact,
I've got my little present on.
You have your gems stoned up. Let me show you what arrived for the lovely Debs yesterday, I think it was. Oh, no, wrong picture. Sorry. It's been a long day. Let's have a little look. I have got the picture right here. Let's have a little look. There we go. That is what arrived for Debs.
Absolutely.
Today. And in fact, that bracelet, Debs, it's been renamed the Deborah Petulengro bracelet. So I think that's going to be your signature, well, isn't it?
So what stones are in there then?
I do believe it looks like, is it black obsidian and rose quartz?
I know it's protection and love.
Oh, that's lovely.
Protection and love.
But
and
I just love it. I don't want to take it off. I love it. And I am, after my life tonight, I am going to be visiting Leslie's shop and I am going to be treating myself.
Let me tell you though, if we younger ladies go and visit Leslie Anthony's house, and if you don't know who Leslie Anthony is, she is my partner for my Bella Bee gemstone shop, and she finds and sources the best products, as you can see. Indeed, I've got mine tonight as well. If you want to get in contact with Leslie, then do comment in the comment section to Leslie, and she'll find you the perfect gemstone. But ladies, if we go to a house, you won't come out, or if you do, you'll be covered in gemstones. I mean, our house is absolutely covered. It really, really is. Fabulous lady, and she's in the comments section tonight. So listen, Jack, what's coming up on tonight's show?
Well, we've got a special health and fitness section coming up, and this is going to be, we've got a 4-month challenge, and it's exciting. Deborah, Deb, do you want to explain?
Yes. So I haven't got any willpower. I'm finding it really difficult to stick to a diet. I've put loads of weight on, and I am wanting all the Lengro ladies and the Lengro Live people to help me stick to a diet, but I'm not going to do a diet. I'm going to start eating healthy because I think that I need to start eating healthy. With the children, I'm constantly picking things up. I don't have time to eat with work, so it's more of a healthy lifestyle. So join in with us and see how far we can get up to Christmas. And the one who inspires us most, I will give a free personal reading to.
That's amazing. So what we want to, oh, I've frozen. Oh, I can't believe it. I've frozen. Have I frozen in you as well?
No, we can still see you, Jack.
Yep, you're
Oh, can
still
you?
talking to us. Yep, you're absolutely
Okay, well, I'll carry on talking for a bit then until you see me frozen. So what we want is we want our viewers to send us in recipes or healthy tips, and we'll give you some healthy tips as well. So we'll do this each week and see how far we get, how much weight everybody can lose.
Absolutely love that. And if you do have some tips on how you've succeeded in a diet, or even if how you haven't and you want to share your story with us, then please do comment in the comment section. I also wanted to ask, not only let us know your healthy eating tips, I wanted to ask, what vice have you given up and how did you do it? So do tonight share your tips with our viewers and with us as well. There we go. Let's have a little look. Pat Taylor's just joined us as well. Jules Child, hello to you all. Now, we're also talking National Day today. Jack, fill us in.
Yeah, so it's National Sons and Daughters Day today. And I think we've got some pictures of our children. But Claire, I'm going to go off and come back on because I've really frozen. I can't see anything at all now.
Absolutely fine. Okay, we're going to come back onto that section about family when Jack returns. But I have got a little quote here, Jack. Let me get it. From Lengro's very own health and diet expert, Kirsty Constable, who's going to be joining you as of next week to give our viewers some tips. Gail Carr says, I'm on my very first diet and not enjoying it at all. Have you ever found that, Debs, that you just didn't enjoy the diet you were on?
Yeah, so I've been a yo-yo dieter, Claire, all my life. One time you can see me and I'm thin. 1 minute you can see me and I've ballooned again. I have a wardrobe full of clothes from size 10 to 18 and I'm back up again, I'll be honest, at my heaviest weight. And I just feel like I can't stick to a diet. But with me having such a hectic life, I don't get time to follow a diet or go to clubs and get weighed. So
Yeah.
I have been weighed this morning. I've documented it down and
Yeah.
I'm going to start eating breakfast, dinner and tea because I don't do that. So I really, really want support, which I know I'll get from the Lengro ladies. And just, I'm not going to set myself a goal because I feel like if I set a goal, I will more than likely fail at it. But if I just do it as I'm healthy eating and take it step by step, and we'll see how I can get there. And we'll share recipes. And if anybody's got a really good recipe, well, message it me in Messenger on Facebook, Deborah Petrolengro. And we can do it together. If we do it together, we can do it happily.
Exactly. Pat Taylor shares your pain. She says that's the same for me with yo-yoing. And she says, I've been on diets lots, but I'm still very overweight. Now, many years ago, guys, I actually wrote a diet book based on astrology. So in the coming weeks, I'm going to be sharing my tips for dieting with your star sign as well. But in the meantime, here's what Kirsty Constable has to say, who's Lengro's health and fitness expert. She says, any weight loss journey is exactly that, a journey. It's a process and you won't reach your destination overnight. The success really does lie with the journey, as that's where you form all of the long-lasting habits that will enable you to not only get your desired results, but to keep and to maintain them. So stay tuned, says Kirsty, for advice on how to support your journey. And if you have any questions, I will be in the club soon to give you all support and on the Lengro lives as well. Pat Taylor says, only weigh yourself once a week or a couple of weeks on the same scales at the same time of day. Now, some tips that I can give you is when I was researching a diet book, which my book publishers asked me to do, I did it in association with Boots and Marks and Spencer's. And I do know for a fact that if women stick to 1,000 calories a day and men to 1,500, that you cannot fail to lose weight. We all know that we should exchange bad carbs for good carbs. So we need slow releasing carbohydrates. So changing to wholemeal, changing to low fat is very good. But sugar-free things are not always good because of what they put in them. So you need to get to know your products. When I've had to lose weight, when I've had babies before, when I've been going on tour, I limited myself to things. So I would do things like I would allow myself pork, but only once a fortnight. I would also allow myself bacon once a week only. I'd have fish 3 times a week, and I would sort of look at what I was having in my diet. So I think it's really important to be able to have cheat days or to be able to have the foods that you love as well. And of course, we all know things like grapefruit in the morning are fat burning things as well. But also, I think it's about moving your body as well. Not just about moving your body where it makes you more hungry, but moving your body so you're turning fat into muscle as well. So I think the weight loss, like Kirsty says, has got to be a journey, because you don't want to go down to rake thin, to build the muscle and feel healthy. That's it, isn't it?
I'm just in the middle of, I used to drink lots of Coke Zero, and I felt like it was blowing me up. So I've now exchanged Coke Zero in my water bottle to dilute orange. So then that gives me the water, because I don't drink enough water. And also I've exchanged my white bread to brown bread. And have breakfast. I've only started today, mine, so it's only been today. But I'm gonna start exchanging things and limit takeaways. And when I'm in my shop in Blackpool of a night time, when I've got clients, there's a McDonald's across the road. I will run across there. I've got to stop that and maybe take something with me.
Yeah, I think if you prepare foods and take them with you, that's a really good thing. And obviously drinking at least 2 litres of water a day. Debs, you and I both got our gemstone infused water bottles, and that does. Do you find already you're drinking more water because you've got a water bottle?
Yes, I do, and I love my water bottle. And as a matter of fact, Leslie, you are listening. So, Leslie, do you have any willpower gemstones? Because I would be very interested in some willpower gemstones to go in the bottom of my bottle. They might help me on my journey.
That's a really good idea. Really good idea. And of course, hot water with lemon in the morning is a really good wake-up call to cleanse the body as well. Gail Carr, do you want to read her comment out?
Yes, so Gail Carr says, I'm doing calorie counting, so not removing any food, and I gotta get my bum moving more. Yes, and so have I, Gail. And she's also says that I do believe my weight is from excess baggage from my past, needing to be addressed. I just got to figure out what it is. You know, I've got to get moving as well. I think that there's something you can do. Is it couch to 6K, where you start walking more every day, add more steps in? Just, I don't find the time with and with cleaning and work and everything, but I need to start maybe overnight going on a walk with the dogs. And it'll clear my mind as well, and it'll be good for me. I need to get out more and start exercising, because I've got a young child. She's 1 next week. And I want to go to the park and I want to do things with her, and I just feel a fat front.
Well, do you know what as well? My key is, and I'm going to come to your question in just a moment as well, Joanne Ripper, is if it's not in the house, you can't eat it. So instead of having a bag of crisps, you know, you can make your own crisps by using things like sweet potatoes, by sort of frying in a low-fat oil, sort of nice vegetables and things like that. Apple cider vinegar with the mother is good too. But Joanne Ripper says about tips for putting weight on. Now, interestingly enough, and Jack, I'll let you take over after this because we've got some photographs to show. Interestingly enough, I had to have a breast rebuilt, to be honest with you, many years ago. And I had to put on enough weight, my surgeon said, that I would have enough fat on my stomach to build a breast. And so I actually had to be the person that would set my alarm clock at 11 o'clock at night to go and have bacon sandwiches or have crispy pork. So I do feel your pain there. But do you know what? Lots of creamy sauces, lots of white wine in your pasta sauces with lots of mozzarella, cheddar cheese, stick it all on. I think sometimes gaining weight can be as hard as losing weight as well. But we're going to help you come up with some plans. Absolutely. Jack, go ahead.
Right. So what are we going on to? We're still talking about the health and fitness. I've come in sort of, I don't know. We have tips and things.
Yeah, let's go to all pictures of health and fitness that you'd like up.
Right. So we've got some celebrities. And who have we got? Oh yes. So Denise Welsh. She has started going to the gym, and she started trapeze classes. Now she gave up alcohol, I think in 2016, and or it might be 2012. She's doing like really well, and she's lost lots of weight. I think as we get older, we come to the menopause. We really have to think seriously about fitness and diet and things like that, because we tend to sort of put on weight more around our middle and places that we don't want. So we really need to do some sort of exercise every day. And also watch what we eat as well, portion sizes, things like that. And this is Jennifer Aniston, believe it or not, and she says that she's not too keen on the cocktails, and I'm with her on this because there's so much sugar in them. There's so many calories in cocktails, so she likes a margarita, but a straight one with no sugar and things in it. And she had an injury not so long ago, so she was only allowed to do Pilates. So she really wants to get back into exercise and things, because she says she really needs to sweat to lose the weight. Even if it's just 10 minutes a day, she needs to keep moving every day. So that's the key. You have to just do something small, but every day.
Yeah, love that, Gail Carr. Another thing we can do, of course, is make sure that we walk to the destinations that we go to. So instead of getting the lift, make sure that you walk to where you need to go, and also maybe shop day by day as well. There's some amazing recipe books out there, and of course, one person who does amazing recipes and looks great for her age is, of course, Davina McCall.
Yeah, so Davina goes running every morning with her dog, and she wears her earphones, so she's got music while she's doing it. And then when she comes back, she has granola for breakfast with berries, and she also has a cup of tea with collagen in it, because collagen is really important as you get older, because we lose collagen in our skin. So she has that, and she has pro-life milk because she has very high cholesterol. So we were talking about this on Lengro Life on the Facebook pages last week, because cholesterol, you can get high cholesterol. It's not because you're overweight. Thin people can get high cholesterol, so it's important to get it checked. It can affect your heart and things like that. So she uses the pro-life milk because it's got it's good for cholesterol. So that's Davina's little tips.
Fantastic. Do we have any more health and fitness photographs that I haven't brought up?
We have got. Let me have a look.
Hello, Michael Crowther. Thank you so much. Michael Crowther's a follower, Debs, who's helping me plant flowers in my garden. He's got the most incredible garden.
Hello, Michael. And also, I want to say hello to one of my lovely clients. She is on the comment bar, and she's called Sandra. She is a lovely, lovely lady. I met her last week, and thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Oh, absolutely lovely. Right, Jack, anyone else?
Have we got Cloden McKenna drinking her green juice? Oh, so I love Cloden. So she's a celebrity chef, and she makes this great feel-good juice which she has every morning. And in it she puts spinach for iron and fibre, pineapple or mango chunks, cucumber, celery, fresh ginger, Greek yogurt, and half a lemon. Because celery and cucumber are brilliant diuretics, and so you beat bloat with cucumber and celery. So and she's getting married next week, so that's what she's doing to keep the weight off. But yeah, with celery and cucumber, I mean, they're really, really good snacks, because you can have celery throughout the day, like in between, with cream cheese on it or some hummus on it. Yeah. And what I do with cucumber, so instead of having sandwiches, I'll chop up cucumber, thick slices, and I'll put things like tuna and mayonnaise on top, sweet corn, and little fillings that you would normally have in a sandwich. You put on cucumber, and it tastes really good, believe it or not.
Now, when I've done photo shoots for newspapers and magazines, they always have a rail of clothes. And the thing is, if you wear their clothes a lot of the time, you used to be able to take them home with you. So my aim was to get down to the model sizes when I worked for the newspapers so I could get these outfits. And there is something which is also a diuretic called Boo tea. Now, it's quite expensive, but it's a herbal tea that you drink. And obviously, it makes you go to the toilet a lot. But that, I think I lost a stone within 2 weeks. Being on that as well. But I think what we're aiming for between now and Christmas is a lifestyle change with diet rather than a quick fix.
Yeah, rather than a crash diet. Something, because with crash diets, you can lose the weight, but then you're likely just to put it back on again, aren't you? But
Exactly.
I think if you follow a healthy lifestyle, you're more likely to carry it on.
Love it. So listen, ladies and gentlemen, please do message privately Deborah or Jackie with your diet stories, and we'll help and follow your journey as well as Deborah's up until Christmas. Before we move on to National Day, Deborah, would you like to read out the message, please, from Michael Crowther?
Yes. So Michael has said, "Hello, Debs. Hello, Michael. Thought of you today. My tea bag burst at lunchtime. I tried to think of a question and threw so I could. It's crackling right there. Through the tea. Looked like ripping waves across the sea. No idea what it meant. Have you got a photo of it, Michael? If you send me a photo of your cup, I will have a look in your cup for you. So if you private message me to my Facebook account, Deborah Petra Lengro, I will have a look at your tea."
Isn't she
How
great?
about that?
Absolutely great. Okay, Jack, so I should do a drum roll here. What national day is it today, Jack Tyler?
It's National Sons and Daughters Day today. So, yeah. Well, Deb, you've been with your daughters today, haven't you?
Oh,
Have they been
well,
TikToking
I'm
all
going to
day?
be quite honest with you. About an hour ago, I had no face on. I had a hair knotted up here. I sent a photo to the girls and I was like, well, it's transformation for me. And I did it. I've had my girl in me ragged all day. The little one is crawling, so she is into everything. Heavenly is dancing on, she's not allowed TikTok, but I've got a TikTok account where she's not allowed to follow anybody, but she can look at the dances. But I do like to monitor what she's looking at because I don't really like TikTok, but they've run me ragged today.
Look at this.
And that is my beautiful
picture.
fairy.
Oh,
Here is another one as well. These are absolutely
they are
amazing photographs. They really, really are. Jack, we've also got a picture of your children as well. Let's have a little look. Here's Annie, your gorgeous daughter.
Yeah.
You seem to be in my hometown there. You're in Brighton.
We're in Hastings. We're in Hastings there.
Oh, how lovely. And
That's my son, Ben.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
We've only ever seen Ben's arm before, haven't we? When we were doing
yes.
He's absolutely gorgeous. Well, do you know what? I tried to find pictures like Deborah's and Jack's of my children. Unfortunately, I struggled a little bit. So this is probably the most normal one of my 4 children. This is also quite a normal one. One of the only photographs I've got with all 4 children together, because my 2 eldest have now grown up and left home. But this is a photograph of me on the way to work with 2 of my children, where they dressed what they like. You've seen Deborah's picture, now look at mine. Honestly, that's 2 of my youngest. And this is when I was actually going on a date many years ago. And I asked my son Paris to babysit. And I want you to notice his head in his hand in the background, because while I was getting dressed to go on a date, this is about 8 years ago, I think it was, they were getting ready. No, they weren't. It wasn't. Anyways, a few years ago, they decided they would also raid Mummy's wardrobe. And if you note Paris's head,
that is definitely a photo to keep that one there.
Say it again.
I love that.
That is definitely a photo to keep, that one. I love that. It's just real.
But then when the girls try, this is Honey now as she's older. That's us going for lunch at the Ivy. And then this is my Lulu Bella now as well at a photo shoot for me with the cards. I've also a viewer's picture. As many of you may have seen, we have our youngest fan is a little boy called I can't remember his name now. Lydia Hunt's son. I do believe he's called Archie. Is he? Arthur. That's it.
Arthur.
Arthur. So if you're watching tonight, Lydia Hunt, in the tone of the National Day of Sons and Daughters, this is one of our followers' sons, Arthur.
Oh,
Absolutely gorgeous. There you go, guys. So let's have a little look. There are characters.
Absolutely handsome, as say.
That's so lovely. What about your sons and daughters? What's quirky about them? Are they your double? Or could they not be more different for you? We do have a little comment though from So Sander that I do need to read out, going off on a tangent. So Sander says, I have a picture of a face on my pancake. It appeared when I turned my back to make a cup of tea. Spooky. Oh, do send it in. We do like any pictures of anything that you see. And of course, Debs may even try to interpret it for you. That's a question, isn't it, guys, about signs? Because Debs, you had a feather that you found the other day, but all I could focus on was your handbag, which is a gorgeous feathers are a great sign of good things to come, or that our loved ones are
Yes,
watching
it
over.
was. At that point in time, Claire, I was typing up my emailed reading. I'd been studying for a client for quite a while, and I was studying the Arans, what she'd sent me photos of, and she was speaking to me about personal things in her life, that obviously all readings are private and confidential, I can't go into, but things we were talking about was spiritual. And as I was typing a report up, it fell from the sky in my shop, so there was nothing in there, and it fell right across my lap and fell on the floor at the side of my bag. It was amazing. I was gobsmacked. I had to take a photo and send it to her, and also put it on my Facebook page.
Absolutely love that. I've got to go back for a moment to sons and daughters, but because I did have a couple of pictures to show that Jack sent me. Let's have a little look of some famous sons and daughters. Here we go. Here's one of them.
Yep, so that's Madonna with 24-year-old Lourdes. And Lourdes said, people think I'm this talentless rich kid who's had everything given to her, but I'm not. She said that she paid for herself to go through college, and she's now chosen to live away from Hollywood. And that's Madonna's eldest child. But she's quite like her mum, because do you remember a little while ago when she made headlines with the pictures of her unshaven armpits? So like her mum, she's not scared of the limelight at all.
She can afford not to be, can't she? She can afford all the things that she wants. And here we have who?
Oh, yeah, there's the lovely Kate Garraway with her children on a trip to a magic show. Now, this magic show was one that they were supposed to go on just before Derek got ill, and he was taken ill and they couldn't go. So they've finally gone on it, and it's the first trip that they've been away at all since he got ill. And said she was a bit nervous, I think, because with lots of people around, it was a bit strange.
Yeah.
But she said she was quite emotional when she went. So they looked like they were having a great time anyway. So.
I love Kate Garraway, and absolutely. Yeah. On the theme of children, do you guys remember this? And I bet your children wouldn't remember it or know what it is. Do you remember this?
Oh, yes.
Yes. So that is a picture, of course, of what used to come up at the end of the night when we could know when we couldn't watch 24-hour TV. But I've actually come across a picture of what she looks like now. Would you like to see?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yep. There you go. If only our children knew what it was like to live without mobile devices and without 24-hour TV, and when we only had 3 channels, eh, ladies?
It wasn't it the 80s when Channel 4...
As a matter of fact, the other day I came across an old cassette. I was going through old bags and things what I'd had for ages, things you store away. And I said to Heavenly, what do you think that is? And she was like, I don't know. And I was like, that is what we used to play music on. So she was like, yeah, you're kidding, Mum, aren't you? I was like, no, I said there was CDs, there was cassettes. I said, and I showed her all Walkmans and CD players, compact discs. She was amazed, and it made me feel really old.
Yeah, Natalie Pennycook remembers when Channel 5 was launched. I do. Do you all remember Max Headroom as well? And also, of course, record players have come back into fashion again now. My daughter Lulu, she has one. But of course, records are a little bit more expensive now. On the days when I did go to school with the lovely Mitch Jenkins, I used to have 2 cassettes. And the one I remember listening mostly to was I had the Back to the Future theme tunes or soundtrack on a cassette. And do you remember when the rhythm used to come out and you'd have to get a pencil and bring it up again as well?
Yeah, and we were saying about this before on a live, weren't we? We were talking about how we used to record the top 40 on a Sunday.
Yeah.
And we used to be so annoyed when Tony Blackburn spoke at the end of the song because it ruined the whole song, didn't it?
It did. I absolutely loved that. I really did. Yeah, you had to.
You would wait till a Sunday.
Yeah. And Natalie Pennycook says, Jason Donovan, Any Dream Will Do was my first record. I saw him actually in concert a couple of years ago. And Rick Astley's doing a tour. So is Jason Donovan as well now. So
what was your first record? Can you remember?
Yes. My first record was a Now album. It was one of the first Nows that had come out that I think I actually bought from Boots. And of course, you had all the cleaner, you'd hold it up and look at it. What about you guys out there? What was the first record that you ever bought? And that first record was closely followed by Sade as well, which I played to death.
My first record, I think my mum and dad must have bought it. It was Monster Mash. Do you remember Monster Mash? Millie, Molly, Mandy. I remember listening to that over and over again as well.
What about you, Deb?
Mine was Michael Jackson, Blood on the Dance Floor. I can remember going to HMV, buying Michael Jackson, Blood on the Dance Floor. Yeah.
Pat Taylor was Harry Nelson, If Living Is Without You. Oh
yes. Oh, yeah.
And Michelle Hayes has got a name.
I just want to say hello to one of the ladies in the comments. One of the ladies in the comments called Joanne Flanagan. So she is one of my good friends. She's the loveliest lady you will ever wish to meet. And I hope one day we can bring her on live, as she supplies me with all my skincare from Tropic, and it's unbelievable. So one week we will try and get Joanne Flanagan on a live with us and show us all the Tropic skincare. It's amazing.
Well, Joanne,
no one needs Botox when you've got Joanne.
Joanne, if you want for you to come on a live, do message Debs and let us know, and we'll get you on here in the next couple of weeks. But you know what? There were some people that didn't need Botox, didn't need anything, and that was the Smurfs. So Michelle Hayes says her first single was the Smurfs from her nan as well. Oh, we're really showing our age tonight, aren't we, ladies? Now, we're also going to touch on when we don't feel good and when we overeat as well. Sometimes that can be linked to our mental health or to depression. And recently in the news, Jack and I were talking earlier about a famous actress called Saran Jones, weren't we?
Well, that's actually my recommendation of the week to watch as well. I don't know whether anybody saw I Am Victoria. It was absolutely fantastic with the amazing Saran Jones. Now, this is actually a series. It's a female-led standalone drama. So each week it's a different actress and it's a different story. There was the first series was on a little while ago, and this is the second series. But she plays Victoria, who is a lady suffering with mental health problems. But it is absolutely unbelievable. It was so moving and raw. It was so powerful in that one episode. And it was all, the dialogue was mostly improvised, and it was just centered on her and her husband and her 2 kids. And I think her sister came into it, but mainly it was just on her. And she was talking about this program to Fern Cotton on the Happy Place podcast. And she said she had a deep personal resonance with the character because she suffered with mental health issues when her mum died, which was shortly after she had her child. And she actually had a breakdown, and in the end she did have medication and therapy, which really, really helped her. So she really found it liberating to do this drama. She described it as my love letter to mental health and all those who feel like life can just get too much, because anxiety and depression doesn't always come as a big drama. You know, it's in our everyday lives, and anyone can suffer from it. And this is what the drama was showing. It was a woman who was trying to be a perfect mum, perfect wife, and it was just, she was struggling. It was just all too much. And she used the normal tools that we've been told to use, like the singing bowls and the podcasts and sleep spray and exercise and everything else, which is great. But that helps with the problem. That doesn't get to the root of the problem. That's what they were kind of trying to say.
Yes.
And I think anybody suffering with any sort of mental health should watch this, and also people that don't, because, you know, you might learn something. Because people all around you are suffering, and this might actually teach you some signs and things to look out for. You know, it's absolutely incredible.
I've got a question for the followers out and the viewers out there. Actually, is do you see someone admitting that they are on antidepressants as a sign of weakness or as a sign of strength? Because I think there is an awful big stigma, don't you, ladies, around anybody that takes medication for their mental health, when actually it's one of the bravest things in the world that you can do, to speak out and ask for help. But would you see it either in yourself or a friend as a sign of weakness or a sign of strength?
I mean, it's what Saran was saying at the end. She was saying that by doing that sort of thing, by having the treatment, by being on the antidepressants, you know, you kind of, that's the thing that you can try and distract yourself and do lots of other things. But really, you know, if you need help, you need help. You need to be able to see the signs and know what you're looking for. And sometimes you do need to have that sort of extra help.
Yeah. Well done, Michael. You are one very, very strong man. I salute you. I really do. Debs, what's your take? Do you think that your clients as well, and friends that might be on antidepressants, do they keep it to themselves, or is it something they openly share?
I think with a lot of my clients, I can already see it anyway. So I think when I do mention it to them, because mental health is very, very close to my heart. As you know, Claire, it's always been close to my heart. But I think it's a sign of strength. You know, when you're on antidepressants as a person, and I'll be honest, I'm gonna put it out there. Why I'm at my heaviest weight at the minute, and you probably don't know, girls, is because I have been on antidepressants, and the antidepressants has put a lot of weight on me. I started them when I lost my granny. I have spoke to Jack about this, and I put 3 stone on in 12 months with antidepressants. I used to keep it to myself, because I thought if people know I'm on antidepressants, that they'll look at me differently. But now I am open about it. You know, I'm not ashamed of how I am. And I'll openly speak about, yes, I have been depressed and I'm on antidepressants. And I take it as a positive, because I'm wanting to show people that it's not a bad thing that you're suffering with mental health. There is help out there for you. And Tyson Fury is doing amazing things with mental health amongst Romani people, because in actual fact, Romani people, gypsy people, to have mental health problems were looked on differently. So he has really opened it up for Romani people, gypsy people, to speak about it as well. And Joanne Flanagan, she has worked in mental health as well herself, and I know she's watching us live at the minute, and I know mental health's a big thing for her as well. So, you know, take it as a positive, and if we know someone's on antidepressants, or they don't feel the self, or you know they're a bit down, give them a ring, give them a call and ask them if they want a coffee. Don't talk about them and things like that, because a lot of people would rather talk about someone than actually pick the phone up and say, hey, do you want to come round for a coffee, or do you want a bit of dinner? You know, be that person to help somebody, and be a close ear to listen, because people need it now, especially because we've been in lockdown.
Yeah, I think it's absolutely wonderful that you ladies are so outspoken about your journey. I also want to say that we've got some great mental health experts that work for Lengro magazine. And if you do click on, at the moment on my website at clairepepperlengro.tv, we have got the best of Lengro magazine up as an issue. You can also read every back issue from the last 12 months. But you will see on our pages that if you don't have anybody that you can reach out to, if you don't have anyone you can talk to, there are plenty of helplines there as well. But I think the key is as well, if you phone somebody that's feeling down and they say, I don't want to go out, the key is to keep trying, you know, again and again the next day. I mean, don't badger them to death, but, you know, do keep trying, and eventually, you know, you'll get them one day in the right mood.
Like with me, so I'm on a, I'm on antidepressants as well, but it's only a recent sort of thing since the end of last year. But for years and years before that, you know, I had so many things that had happened. You know, I lost my husband, lost my dad, had cancer, everything else. And when people keep telling you, oh, you're so strong, you're this really strong person, you think, oh my gosh, yes, I have to be this strong person. And I wouldn't even consider taking antidepressants. It just didn't even cross my mind. And then at the end of last year, you know, I sort of felt like I tipped over the edge. So I went on them, and I feel so much better for being on them. I feel like I can cope so much better with things as they come along. So you don't actually realise until you're on them how stressful your life was. You know, it's amazing.
And as a saying says,
we need a little bit of help.
Yeah, and you don't have to stay them on. No, and you don't have to be on them for the rest of your life. It might just be a short period of time, just to get you straight, sort of thing.
Let me tell you one very special thing that nobody thinks about these little tablets in that little bottle. Is they're magic in a different way, because once you start taking those tablets and you have friends that say to you things, I've heard from friends of mine that are taking them, other friends have said, why don't you go and take it if they're in a bad mood? Why don't you go and take a happy pill and things like that? That magic bottle will reveal to you who the arseholes are in your life that shouldn't be your friends. Because if people are telling you that you shouldn't take something that's a support system to you, then that person wants to see your decline in life to make themselves feel better. So it's actually got a lot of magic properties as well. We have got one viewer on here, ladies, that says she's worried about the side effects that antidepressants might have.
Well, I didn't. I think that when you first take them, you know, you do have, you know, you might have some sort of side effects as you're sort of getting used to them. But I didn't really have anything, and I know a lot of people do put on weight, but I think you have to be mindful, you have to be careful, and I think a lot of the time you put on weight because you feel happier, so you eat more. That's the thing, you know.
That's exactly right, Jack, because I've been back to the doctors about my tablets, and it's because I'm more relaxed and chilled out more that they make me want to eat. So yes, I am fat. I am trying to help myself out, but the tablets has done an awful lot to basically putting a lot of weight on. Am I going to go off the tablets? No, I feel fantastic on them. I am going to wean myself off. I'm going to start taking it down to half a tablet a day. And we'll see how I go. But I don't feel a weaker person because I take antidepressants. You know, I'm quite proud of the person that I am and the things I've been through, and I'm still standing. So it's more, you know, they've just made me cope a little bit better with the things that's been thrown at me in life.
Do you know what? Sometimes, and Michael Crowd has just commented, I put it up on the screen, you're not fat, you're gorgeous. You've got to take things one step at a time, guys. And first of all, if you do need antidepressants, obviously seek the right medical advice, go and talk to your doctor, find the right antidepressant for you. But more so than that, don't worry about the food at first, because that comes at a different stage afterwards, where you then look at your diet, when you feel stronger, when you feel more positive. And little tips that we'll be giving you on Wednesdays from now on are things like, if it's not in the house, you know, you can't eat it. And also learning about the foods that are right for you. It's not about starving yourself. So Sandra says that you're a beautiful bonny lassie, Barbara Lengro. And could one of you ladies read that Jules Child's comment for me, please?
So Jules says, I always seem to need them when I lose a very close family member. Sadly, that's been a few times since I was 18. Being the youngest of the big Irish family, definitely no shame in needing some help. Yeah, definitely. That's brilliant, Jules.
Absolutely love that. So as we continue our journey on trying,
because it's actually, we're talking about health and fitness. It's not just eating, is it? It's drinking. I mean, during lockdown, so many people started drinking even more, didn't they? Because through boredom and stress and anxiety and things like
They
that.
do.
So
And alcohol's another subject that we were going to bring up. But first of all, can I bring up a little friend of mine, a friend of ours, and ask you what we were going to talk about there with sugar, and then we're going to move on to booze, ladies and gentlemen.
So there's been rumours that Jennifer Aniston and David Schwimmer are dating since the Friends reunion, but they are still rumours, so we're not 100% sure. But wouldn't we all love Ross and Rachel to get together? And but that T-shirt that he's wearing is from the Friends new merchandise collection, and it's lobster. Do you remember the scene with Phoebe when she said that Rachel was his lobster?
Oh, I absolutely love it. Do you know what? Along with those two, I would love for Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck to stay together as well. Wouldn't that make us?
Well, they're officially an item, aren't they? So yeah.
Well, let's hope they stay that way. And as Leslie Anthony says as well, she's finding more and more people turn into crystals for anxiety. So if you do want to private message Leslie about what gemstones can help with anxiety or different problems that you've got, then do please inbox her. And this is her name. Here she is, my gorgeous Leslie. Thank you, Cameron James Nelson, for joining us from Derek's page. It's been in the books for years for them too. It's been a love story for years. Oh, it has, hasn't it?
Oh.
Now listen, Deborah has had some technical difficulties, and Mercury's not even in retrograde at the moment. So I'm sure she'll be back with us in a moment. But another crutch that we can look for in times that we're stressed, anxious, depressed, gone through a change or down is alcohol. And you wanted to say something about that tonight, didn't you, Jax?
Yeah, and the funny thing is alcohol can help people with all those things, but it actually causes all those things. So it's a no-win situation, isn't it? But an online forum called Soberistas say that a lot of people who relied on wine have actually stopped drinking altogether now that lockdown's over. Alcohol-free drinks, the alcohol-free drinks market is booming. The younger generation have been giving up alcohol, making it, hip to do it. And middle-aged women have given up as a way to lose weight, which is what we're talking about today. And that's great because the Daily Mail recently reported that there's been a 20% increase in alcohol-related deaths in England. So we really do need to look at the whole alcohol, what we're putting in our bodies, really. We have to take this seriously. But Soberista was founded by a lady called Lucy Rocker, who started a blog so that she could speak to other women who were like her, not alcoholics, but who did like a drink and were drinking a lot. And what she was doing was drinking on an empty stomach, so thinking she's not putting on the calories, so she's saving the calories. And she was passing out. And then one day she actually found herself, she ended up in hospital. Wow. So she thought, I need to stop this. So she started this blog and was talking to other like-minded women, and they all kind of support each other. And she said the women that have stopped have said that they found they're sleeping better, they feel more energized, their skin and eyes are brighter, and they've lost weight, which is the aim, isn't it, really?
So, Debs, we're just talking about alcohol at the moment. Now, a film, you were talking about film reviews. A film I saw many years ago that really touched my heart was one with Meg Ryan and Andy Garcia, of course, called When a Man Loves a Woman, a story of a very normal housewife who hid alcoholism and how it became such a problem and took over her life. And I think one of the keys to drinking, of course, is to never drink, should be the rule, when you're in a bad or sad mood. And of course, there are films like Bridget Jones, which almost portray that when you're feeling sad, go get that bottle of wine, go put on the sad record, isn't it? So what's your...
We've all done it, haven't we?
Absolutely. Absolutely. What's your view on alcohol, Deborah, and especially with your clients that you have? What's your sort of tips and ideas?
Well, as speaking for myself, I'm not really a drinker. You know, maybe I'll have a glass of wine. I don't really like wine. If I'm to have a drink, maybe a Di Serrano and Coke, one or two, or I like a Jack Daniels and Coke, maybe one.
You cannot put Di Serrano with Coke. That's like rude to Di Serrano.
I like Di Serrano and Coke. But I personally, as a person, drink doesn't really bother me. you know, I'm still happy and I'll sing to anybody without a drink. So I just think, speaking to clients about drink, you know, everything in a little moderation. If you like to have a drink, do it in moderation, same as food, moderation. If you like to have a drink, you know, you're not hurting anybody, have a little drink, but not too much.
Yeah, because it's a habit, isn't it? It's a habit that we all get into, and we think, you know, oh, it's 6 o'clock, but got to have a glass of wine or whatever. So just get into that habit.
Some people think it's cocktail time somewhere in the world, don't they?
Just remember, cocktails have got lots of sugar in.
They have got lots
It's
of
5
sugar.
o'clock somewhere.
Yeah,
Absolutely. I think as far as alcohol is concerned, it's like any habit that you've got. When a habit becomes something that inhibits your life and stops it from being the good life that you can have, it's how you break that habit. And to me, to me, it's also,
I'm trying to stop smoking and eating at the same time.
See, that's something else that we need to look at as well. How many of you there smoke and want to give up smoking, or who's given up smoking and succeeded? Michelle Hayes has got it better. She drinks Disaronno neat. I'm going to read some more comments in a minute, but with my issue with alcohol is I have a blood condition called von Willebrand's disease. And obviously I'm live 5 nights a week. So I only have 2 nights a week where I can actually have a drink. And the reason for that being is if I have a glass of alcohol, it affects me quicker than most because it goes around my system quicker as well. So when people say on a live, oh, what have you got in that glass, that bottle? I promise you, as we go on in our lives, if ever I do a wine tasting, you'll be able to tell. Cameron at James Nelson says, been there, done that, was like drinking to forget about problems and making a lot more. Drinking gives a beer belly and bloating. And my uncle passed to cirrhosis of the liver, and EastEnders did a story with Phil, and I really drink, but when I do, it's gin. Does gin make you sin? Could you read a comment out, please, Jack? Michael Crowther.
I don't know where that's disappeared off my. Hold on a sec. Let me just go back up a bit.
Oh,
Michael Crowther. Yeah, I used to drink a couple of small bottles of beer most evenings. Now I just drink tea. Happy to turn down alcohol. Still as happy to have a couple of pints in the sunshine.
Lovely. Debs, I'm going to get you to read out a comment that you want to pick. Can I just say that, you know, even if you drink tea and you're looking to lose weight, and we'll go into gaining weight as well over the coming weeks, but if you're looking to lose weight, then obviously a cup of tea seems so good with those couple of sugars in. But do exchange, if you're trying to lose weight, your cup of sugary tea for herbal tea instead. And of course, there's lots of brands out there with so many flavors as well. Right, Debs, have you got a comment you'd like to read out? What do you drink?
So I have seen a comment, apple tea. I used to drink it when I went to Turkey a lot. So I went on eBay and I bought some apple tea, and it's delicious. It's lovely. So I've been drinking apple tea.
Oh, that sounds absolutely lovely. Any comments you want to read out there, Debs?
Yes, I have spotted a comment and I absolutely love this comment. So it's from Pat Taylor and it says, this is better than loose women. Well, of course, because we're the Lengro ladies.
Thank you very much.
I've seen a comment that I'm really pleased with as well. Leslie Anthony said, Prosecco and champagne has lower calories than wine. That's good to know, because we do like a little bit of champagne, don't we, Claire?
We do like some champagne. Let's have a little look. I'm going to read
to add, you have never had a cocktail unless you have had a Romany cocktail off one of the Petrolengro women, because their cocktails blow your head off. What are they like, Claire?
Yeah, I put it this way.
When a Petrolengro makes a punch.
Yeah, I did go actually to my Uncle Johnny's house for a funeral, believe it or not, last time I was in Blackpool. And I'd forgotten what it was like to go into my Uncle Johnny's house because he made me a short drink of a spirit and my legs wouldn't move when I got up. They do, if you sit around a Romany campfire, my mother would get a bottle of Courvoisier brandy, which I hate, and she'd take the cork off and throw it into the fire, meaning nobody leaves until this whole bottle is drunk. So gypsies do know how to drink. We're going to go on in a moment to some comments about smoking, but can I just please say, Pat Taylor, thank you so much for being so honest. She says, I very nearly did drink all day, every day, when I was going through my messy divorce. That's very honest. I'm sure a lot of people have gone through that as well. Did it numb the pain, but then make you depressed? I think it's like we said tonight, the theme of the show, the message is everything in moderation, and don't drink when you're in a bad mood or sad, because it will only heighten that feeling. Right, ladies, do you want to pick a comment? I think some of the social ones are good as well, actually. Let's have a look. So we've got some people that want to give up smoking. I know a lot of people that have given up smoking by the Alan Carr book, How to Stop Smoking. They've read it, then they've stopped completely. Somebody else has commented on here as well, that when they gave up smoking. So Sandra, thank you for your comment. I stopped smoking 10 years ago and my weight gained a lot. I tell you what that is. When you stop smoking, and I've seen this with a lot of friends and family members, I have a mother that smokes 40 cigarettes a day. When people give up smoking, even when my mother tried over the years, you need something in your fingers and your hands, so you tend to nibble. So perhaps it's then about buying dried mango, dried fruit, having some squares of very dark chocolate, high in the chocolate, dark chocolate cocoa content, 80%, something like that. It's about having something that you can put in your mouth as well.
Joanne Ripper says that she smokes, but she wished she'd never started, has been smoking since the age of 13 and now 60. That's the trouble, isn't it? It's when you start young, I suppose.
I have to admit as well that my father is no longer alive. But when my mother tried to give up smoking, she was such a nightmare, and we all saw it, that my father actually went to the shops and bought her a packet of cigarettes and said, please start smoking again. I can't stand it. Go on, Deb, sorry.
So I've been back on vapor, but I find that this is more of I'm going to this more than I would go for a cigarette. So I think I'm doing good by having the vapor, because for one, I don't know what's in it. And for two, I've not got it out of my mouth. I'll be up and down, where if I have a cigarette, obviously I'll go out and have a cigarette, where with this, I just keep puffing away on it. And I'm exchanging one habit for another habit, and I want to kick cigarettes away, because a packet of cigarettes now is what, £12? It's a lot of money. If you go for a couple of packets a week, it's too much money to smoke. It
is. So what I'm
on vapor, and I've constantly got it in my hand, so I'm basically losing the battle with smoking, aren't I?
We would be interested to hear, for Deborah and for some viewers that have commented as well, how many of you have successfully given up smoking, and how did you do it? So Cameron James Nelson says, I tried to stop smoking by making jigsaws, but it was cheaper to smoke the same as the e-cigs. I find it's good to help stress in my options. Michelle gave up smoking 3 years ago using vape. Then she started again a couple of weeks ago as she's been so stressed. Bless you, Michelle. Bless you. Okay. So any comments there, ladies? We've only got a couple of minutes left, actually. To round up the show this evening, do you have anything that you'd like to ask any of us? Did you find any particular tips on the Lengro Late Night Live tonight helpful? Let me just see if I've got any other photographs to bring up from Debs as well. Oh, yes, we do have a couple of pictures to bring up. Debs, could you please fill us in on this one?
Oh, right. So this is Catherine Zeta-Jones, and she's going to be appearing in the new Addams Family spin-off series on Netflix called Wednesday. It's a coming-of-age comedy about Morticia and Gomez's daughter called Wednesday, and it's been produced and directed by Tim Burton. So that looks like a good series.
Love that woman. She's absolutely amazing. And a picture I probably should have brought up earlier as well.
Oh, well, this is sad news. This is 49-year-old Christina Applegate. She's been diagnosed with multiple sclerosis a few months ago, and she describes it as being a strange journey, and she's been on a tough road. She said, but the road keeps going, and she's had lots of support from others with the condition as well. Now, I don't know whether you remember, she was in Dead to Me series on Netflix, Sweetest Thing with Cameron Diaz, Friends, she was Rachel's sister, and Bad Mums. Great actress. Yeah, so that's sad.
Oh, that is very, very sad to hear. But sometimes, you know, the most awful journeys can bring out the strength in us and take us to a better place. But that is such sad news. Love the Addams Family, says Michael Crowther. I love Catherine Zeta-Jones. She's absolutely amazing. Have you enjoyed tonight's Lengro Live, guys? If you have, don't forget to tell all of your friends. Deb, you've been busy filming your new intro for Lengro Live. How's that going?
Yes, I'm going to finish my intro tomorrow, and we shall try and get it up and running for maybe Saturday or next week, Claire.
Yeah, as you've all noticed with our live, you've seen our introduction video that opens the show. We have to film 5 different pieces of us doing different things. Would you kindly comment before we wrap up the show and let us know what you'd most expect or like to see Deborah Petulengro doing in her intro video? Because she's got
and
a
I
couple
will try my best to get it done for you.
Before we go, Debs, have you got an update for us from Paris Fury? How the baby is?
Yes, so the baby is doing an awful lot better. She's doing fantastically. I have got an updated photo of her, so I will update that on my Facebook after I've been on live. She's doing really well, and also Tyson has started a Just Giving page for the Alder Hospital. So if you want to donate, pop over to Tyson's page and donate to Alderley Hospital, I think it is, in Liverpool. Alderley Hay. So he's doing amazing things there for the charity as well. But the baby's doing absolutely fantastic. And I have got an up-to-date photo of her. So I will get that and we'll post it on, we could do it on Lengro Live as well. I have got an up-to-date photo. But she's beautiful. She is adorable.
Oh, we wish the family the best. I know that Paris is a friend of yours, and Tyson will also probably catch a glimpse, we hope, of the Lengro ladies. But we are sending all our love, our prayers, and our support. So listen, we've got honest advice, real stories, and we tell it as it is. If you like us tonight, tell your friends, and we'll be back here live Saturday night at 9 o'clock. Say goodbye, ladies.
Bye, everyone. Thanks for watching.